textualisation refers to the embodiment of brand values in an ad, in some sort of text that doesn't simply represent a product for what it is, but for the desire and for the need and for the emotion that it can fulfill. And it relies on a shared set of connotations between the audience and the advertiser. So if we have a look at this Patek Philippe ad on the right, we can see that the values represented here are ones that we all believe in. You know, there's a strong image here of a father, and we can assume that that's his son. The father's at work, but he's still with his son. They're obviously having a fun time together, even though dad's working, and it's quite a happy, but also very wealthy family scenario. You know, looking at the background with the curtains, the carpet, this might be a home office as opposed to a work office. It's a very, very strongly identifiable situation, even if the clothes and the furniture suggest a level of affluence that is out of reach to most of us. And indeed, Patek Philippe watches are also out of reach to most of us. These watches can cost up to around about $40,000. That's correct. I said $40,000. So most of us are never going to be able to afford a Patek Philippe watch, but we consume the wealth, we consume the affluence, and we aspire to that affluence through our connection with the family values represented in that ad. Another form of textualization is tapping into popular trends and celebrity culture. And we'll have a look at celebrity endorsement in the last part of this module. But that idea of tapping into popular trends, so playing on intertextuality or using intertextuality to provide anchorage, to connect signs in ways that produce a set of socially significant meanings. And the example I want to use here is NRMA Insurance and its use of the classic Australian song Throw Your Arms Around Me by Hunters and Collectors. Now again, this is a song that was originally released in the 80s, but it's become an Australian classic, you know, alongside, you know, Khe-Sanh, The Horses, You're the Voice. You know, this is one of those songs that, you know, if you're at a pub and you've had a few drinks and it comes on, you know, people will drunkenly sing it with great affection as kind of an Australian classic. And it's used or gets used in the NRMA advertising campaign to reflect those Australian values. So we identify the song as kind of inherently Australian, and by association we identify NRMA as an inherently Australian company. The title of the song suggests support, suggests love, suggests care, which is exactly the set of values that an insurance company wants to reflect. So the values suggested by the song match up with the values that the brand wants to reflect. So when you put those things together, when you put the iconic Australianness together with the connotations of support, of love, of care, you find a very, very powerful set of brand values created around the idea of Australian mateship. Not bad for a song that was not a success when it was originally released. This song has been, Throw Your Arms Around Me, has probably been released about half a dozen times over the while Hunters and Collectors was still around, and apparently the song is about a one-night stand. So it's got, this is part of the interesting nature of popular culture, in that the meanings of text are quite open and fluid and can get used in a range of different contexts. So what Mark Seymour was thinking about and singing about when he wrote that song is a million miles away from the values reflected by NRMA. But still, because of the open nature of popular culture, those values still make sense to us when we see them embodied in the NRMA ad.